AI drug discovery has minted billion-dollar headlines. Yet, by mid-2026, no AI-designed medicine had cleared the FDA. That gap is the whole war. Startups sell compressed discovery, while Eli Lilly buys carefully priced access to it. So who holds the leverage when the first real regulatory finish line still has no winner? First, meet the companies trying to turn biology into a faster design problem. Recursion, ABSI, and RLAY represent three versions of the pitch. Use computation to search biological space faster, design candidates more deliberately, and enter the clinic with fewer blind alleys. That is an attractive proposition. The market, though, does not pay them for the proposition alone. It pays for clinical evidence, one readout at a time. Take Recursion, the AI-driven drug discovery company. Its July price sat near $2.94, close to the reported 52-week floor of $2.77. A reported consensus still called the shares ABSI with a $7.38 target. That spread is not stability. It is a market pricing a wide range of scientific futures. ABSI supplies the sharper version of that lesson. Its shares rose about 285% from March 35% from March 32 cents after interim Phase 1 information on ABS-201. The report said the antibody was tolerated across 4 single-dose cohorts with no serious adverse events reported. That is early clinical evidence, not an approval, and the stock response shows how much weight one update can carry. RLAY makes the same risk visible from another angle. Its reported 52-week range ran from $3.03 to $20.19, and it traded near $19.74 after initial zobigalisib data. The company reported a 100% volumetric response at one dose in vascular anomalies, alongside favorable safety. Investors did not get a smooth curve. They got a clinical verdict with a stock chart attached. Now look behind the billion-dollar labels. The cash arrives in a very different shape. Lilly's March collaboration with In Silico Medicine carried a headline value of up to $2.75 billion. Its Isomorphic Labs agreement offered up to $1.7 billion for multi-target small molecule discovery. Read quickly, those figures suggest a pharmaceutical giant throwing money at AI. Read structurally, they introduce a more interesting question: how much of that value is paid today? The Isomorphic agreement answers it. Lilly committed $45 million upfront, while as much as $1.7 billion depends on milestones. The precise labels matter. The upfront payment buys access now. The larger figure becomes payable only if later work clears later gates. My read: this is less a blank check than a portfolio of cheap options on external science. That structure shifts risk without denying the startup a prize. If the work disappoints, much of the headline number never leaves Lilly's balance sheet. If it succeeds, Lilly can advance a validated program with its manufacturing, trials, and commercial machine already waiting. Startups get a route to scale. Lilly gets many shots without treating every shot as a full acquisition. That asymmetry is the incumbent's advantage. The scale difference explains why this bargain is possible. Lilly guided 2026 revenue to $82 to $85 billion. Against that backdrop, a $45 million upfront payment is a small admission price for seeing whether a platform can produce clinic-worthy assets. The billion-dollar headline is real as a potential outcome. The small guaranteed check reveals who is setting the terms today. The next defense is quieter. Incumbents are changing who does the AI work. Benchling's 2026 survey found 67% of organizations sourcing AI talent through internal upskilling versus 21% hiring from technology companies. That is a striking preference. The industry does not appear to be waiting for an army of outside coders to explain biology. It is teaching people who already understand assays, molecules, and experimental failure how to use new tools. My interpretation is that this is a control strategy, not merely a recruiting shortcut. Drug development is a chain of evidence, experimental design, clinical operations, manufacturing, and a regulatory record. An incumbent that embeds AI in people who already own that chain can adopt the tool without handing the chain to a vendor. The moat becomes institutional memory, upgraded. The survey's organizational patterns reinforce that reading. 30% put AI leadership directly in R&D. Another 35% used a hybrid structure, a central AI group paired with specialists inside R&D. Neither model looks like a detached Silicon Valley annex. Both keep technical capability close to the people accountable for the science. All of this leads to one scoreboard that deal headlines cannot settle. Industry reporting put the clinical tally above 103 programs that began with AI. It also expected 15 to 20 to reach pivotal trials during 2026. That is no longer a science fair category. It is a growing pipeline moving toward the expensive, slow part of drug development, the stage where computational promise meets patients, protocols, and regulators. Still, the decisive count remains zero. No AI-designed drug had FDA approval as of June 2026. Analysts cited in industry reporting put the chance of a first approval by 2027 at roughly 60%. That is a forecast, not a promise. The first approval would matter because it converts platform claims into regulatory precedent and tells investors which pieces of the value chain actually survived contact with reality. So, the near-term winner may be neither the loudest startup nor the biggest deal headline. Startups are proving that AI can generate shots on goal. Lilly is proving it can buy those shots in stages, then supply the scale around them. When the first AI-designed drug reaches FDA approval, watch who owns the data, the development path, and the commercial rights. Which one do you expect to matter most?